Shalom, 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 shalom. All right. Give me 1 minute. All right, shalom. Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. All blessings, honor, glory, and power be unto the Heavenly Father, whose name is Yahweh, through his only begotten Son, our Lord and our Savior, whose name is Yahushua. And double honors to the apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth, and salutations to the elect scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, my name is Amon Gabar, and I'm back with another lesson, Lord willing, quick, edifying, straight to the point. And this is a two-part title entitled, So What If You Have a Wife, right? So what if you have a wife? And the other part is, excuse me, what are you single women gonna do when SHTF, when shit hit the fan? What are you single women gonna do when shit hit the fan? Now the second part, damn, yo, Satan is really a motherfucker. I hit the live button earlier, as some of you probably know. As soon as I pressed live, the phone went completely black and just cut off completely. So, Lord willing, it don't happen again. And now it's running. Fucking throat is, feel like it's congested or some shit. And that's Satan though. Anyway, two-part title. The second part of this title right here is, so what are you single women gonna do when shit hit the fan? I kind of put that title into words myself, but it's pretty much based off a comment that was left on a video I did a few days ago. It was a sister. She said, you know, pretty much said shalom, and she listened to the lessons. So I wrote down what she had asked. She said, how can we prepare, speaking about women that can't, she said, matter of fact, she said, for us women, or for women that cannot remarry, right, in her exact words, how can we prepare for what's to come? What women should do that can't remarry. All right, so I kind of wrote it down. What should she do, or what should women do to prepare for the things to come? And what should women do that cannot remarry? So that's why I say it's a two-part title. So I was, going into some scriptures to answer that question, which the answer to that question, I get, for the most part, I came across 1 Corinthians 7. You go into 1 Corinthians 7, it goes into the whole marriage and unmarried and so on and so forth, to give you the whole thing you need to know. Apostle Paul, right? He gave his, his spiritual input, the law, experience on the married and the unmarried, male and female. So I was going into that, and I also, it took, you go into the scriptures and you read and you study and just go through things precept upon precept, you'll always come across more things and lead to another subject, lead to another topic. So the first part, that's why I'm just giving a little brief backdrop on why it's a two-part title. So what I'm gonna do first, Lord willing, is focus on the first part of it, entitled, So What If You Have a Wife, right? And I'm gonna go to the scriptures, I'm gonna jump straight to it. But shalom, of course, to the brothers out there that's gonna post some scriptures up there. Shalom to you, brothers. Yahweh Shem Yahushua Brakathum. And shalom to the few sincere Akwath, listening and learning in silence. Shalom to you. So let me go to, I got some scriptures written down. This is what came to my mind as I was going into the second part of the title, the questionnaire, or the question I was asked. So let me go to Luke chapter 14. And I'll start at 16 and just read on down. So this is Luke chapter 14 and verse 16. It says, Then said he unto him, a certain man made a great supper and bade many. That certain man is Yahushua, right? That great supper is what we're partaking in right now through the Spirit. All right, like King David himself, he said, thou hast prepared a table for me in the midst of my enemies, right? So this supper, we're sitting at that table, we're supping, we're eating, drinking that living waters, eating that bread of life, drinking that wine, eating that meat, drinking that milk, All right, this is that supper that we're partaking in, all spiritual, right? It says, and he sent his servants or servant at supper time to say to them that were bidden, come, for all things are now ready. All things are now ready, right? We're ready. What's ready right now? Supper time. All right, the preparation for the kingdom, us preparing to meet our maker, us preparing to meet Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai getting ready to come back. That's the main thing. That's what's going down. Yahweh Shai is getting ready to come back, point blank, period, right? So it says, and they all with one consent. All right, all these people, all these individuals, all these men, with one consent began to make excuse. The first said unto him, I have bought a piece of ground, and I must go and see it. I pray thee, have me excused. Right? So these people started making excuses as to why they could not partake in this work. All right, because this is work. This is work. What we doing is work. It's business, it's work, it's our job. This is what no matter what. This is what it is, right? And there's a reason why I'm emphasizing that, because through the spirit, some click, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, it says, and the other said, I bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I go to prove them. I pray thee, have me excused. And another said, I have married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. Right? He didn't even ask for an excuse. He said straight up, I married a wife, and therefore I cannot come. Right? So I'm gonna read the next verse, and then I'm gonna go into the next precept. It says, so that servant came and shewed his lord these things. Then the master of the house, being angry, said to his servant, go out quickly into the streets and lanes of the city, and bring in hither the poor and the maimed and the halt and the blind. The servant said, Lord, it is done. Thou hast commanded, yet there's room. And the Lord said unto the servant, go out into the highways and the hedges, and compel them to come in, that my house may be filled. For I say unto you, that none of those men which were bidden shall taste of my supper. So the men that had made the excuse, they're not going to taste of that supper, right? They made up all these excuses, and all of them excuses, the one that stand out is the dude that said, I had married a wife, therefore I cannot come. And I was thinking about it as I was reading and going through a few scriptures and precepts. This dude, these men, all right, they made excuses. They tried to use the law as an excuse, right? They try to use the law as to why they can't do the work. And what do I mean by that? When you go to Deuteronomy 24, and I'm going to jump straight to the point. Verse 5, 24 and 5, Deuteronomy 24 and 5. And this is why the title of the video is, so what if you have a wife? All right? So what if you got a wife? And so what if you got anything going on in your life? We got work to do. We got a job to do. So anyway, shall not go out to war. Neither shall he be charged with any business. So this guy, apparently, right, in that parable, why did the Lord say that? Why was that even mentioned? Because this dude tried to go back to the law. These men try to go back to the law to say as to why they can't go out to war. In other words, it says war here, right? But we as men of the Lord, we're not going out to physical combat where there's going to be, bullets and this and that. And this, even though it happens, I'm not saying we're not going to war like in Esau's military sense, but we are at war. This is war. This is a spiritual war. All right. Ephesians, the 6th chapter, said we wrestle not against flesh and blood. So this is war. Technically or spiritually, I'm going to say this is war. So these individuals, all right, began to make excuses because in the midst of, going out there in the highways and byways, doing the work, we're going to be attacked like if we're on the battlefield. Ephesians, the 6th chapter gives you, it says the helmet, the armor, the sword, the breastplate, the pretty much equipment that will help you to survive at war. All right, so yeah, we are at war, but spiritual war. Okay, is Esau waging physical war against us? Yes, he is. But these men started making excuses. So we're at war, right? Spiritual war. So when it says, when a man take a new wife, he shall not go out to war. So this guy tried to use it as an excuse. Listen, I'm married, therefore I can't come. Homeboy said, I just can't come. I can't go to war. And the reason that's why I get the title. So what if you got a wife? So what if we got a wife? And I'm gonna get a couple more scriptures. So what if we married? So what if we got families? So what if we got children? So what if we got this? So what if we got businesses? So what if we got that? So what? So what if we got that? Don't be the ones bidding that's gonna make the excuse. So reading on again, I'm gonna read it again. When a man have taketh a new wife, right? A new wife, showing you that you could get more than one. You can have more than one. Man can have one. You got the old wife, the new wife, the newer wife, the new wives to come, whatever. When a man take a new wife, there's something that has to be done, right? He shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year. So this is in the law. He shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife, which he hath taken, meaning he got to cater to. In other words, he got to do, it's the honeymoon phase. That's what I mean by that. That's what I mean by cater to. Right? That's the honeymoon phase. You know, you betrothed her or whatever. You take her virginity. Now she's your wife. She's your woman. Now you got to deal with her, get to know each other, and all this other shit, right? That's natural. It happens, and that's what we do. You see, but this man in Luke 14 made an excuse and say, I got a wife. I can't go. I got a wife. I can't go. I can't. I gotta spend a year. I gotta take a year off from going out there in the highways and byways. I gotta take a year off from doing the work, and I gotta focus my attention on this marriage. That's pretty much what homeboy was saying in that parable. And that's off. That's wicked. Why is it wicked? Why is it off? Why is it going off? Because you read Luke 14, the Lord goes on to speak, right? So let me just finish that up, and then I'm gonna move on. It says, when a man have taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife, which he hath taken. And that's why scriptures like this right here come to mind, or should come to mind, because like I said, I was in I was in 1 Corinthians, the 7th chapter. You know, for the second part of this title for this lesson, about the sister that asked about what if you cannot remarry. And my question is, under what circumstances can you not remarry, or under what circumstances can a woman not remarry? And it made me think even more and go more into, you know, certain scriptures. Even the Lord said in the beginning it was not such. The whole concept of remarrying, it wasn't even supposed to be that. It wasn't supposed to be a thing of remarrying. You get with a man, that's your man for life, point blank period, unless he dies. All right, but then the bill of divorcement and these other things came about, which opened a door to being able to be remarried. So that remarrying thing it's not a concept that was even there since the beginning. All right, going back in the garden, Genesis, the 2nd chapter, when the Lord made woman for Adam, for man, women for man, it was supposed to be that and that only. So that concept right there, you know, being at the world we in, shit, going back before the world we in now. That's why the scriptures say Moses, through the hardness of their heart, Moses gave them or allowed them to write a bill of divorce, the husband to write a bill of divorce. So that's why I came about with the first part of this lesson about, so what if you have a wife? But anyway, I want to get the precept that I have pertaining to the first part of the lesson. And I might split this up and be a 2-part lesson. So I might just focus on the first part and then come again, Lord willing, another time, maybe later on today, probably Lord willing later on today, with the second part. If not, tomorrow, Abaratazah, whenever the Lord's will. So anyway, 1 Corinthians 7, this is why Paul said what he said. All right, 1 Corinthians 7:29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short, it remaineth, that both they that have wives be as though they had none. Because you have a wife, you get a wife, like it says in Deuteronomy, right? You get a new wife, you take a year and you go and deal with her, you cheer her up, you know, y'all build that honeymoon phase and whatever. But these men, all right, there's men out there that actually make excuses as to why they can't go out there. They may not say, oh, I can't do it because my wife, because deep down inside they know that's a weak ass nature. And it's embarrassing to even say that. So niggas will find excuses as to why they can't, you know, come out, go out, do the work, etc., etc. You know, when deep down inside, it be their woman, it be their wife. All right. It says, but this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none. In other words, you prioritize things. You don't have that mindset of, yeah, nah, I can't right now. I got to go fulfill my marital duties. My marital status got to, you know, be up to bar and all that. No, the Lord ain't dealing with that clearly when you read Luke, the 14th chapter. So let me see. I had another one. Luke chapter 2 and verse 49, straight to the point. This is I'm gonna read up some actually. This is Luke 2 and 43. And when they had fulfilled the days, as they returned, the child Yahushua tarried behind in Jerusalem, and Joseph and his mother knew not of it, but they supposed him to have been in the company. Went a day's journey, and they sought him among their kinfolk and acquaintance. And when they found him not, they turned back again to Jerusalem seeking him. And it came to pass that after 3 days, they found him in the temple sitting in the midst of the doctors, both hearing them and asking them questions. Young Yahushua here, right? Young Yahushua. It says, and all that heard him were astonished at his understanding and answers. And when they saw him, they were amazed. And his mother said unto him, Son, why hast thou thus dealt with us? Behold, thy father and I sought thee worrying. So there's worry about Yahushua. Where's our son at? Where is he? He stayed back in Jerusalem. All right? But there was worry about him. And his answer, our Lord, young Yahushua, and he answered unto them, How is it that ye sought me? Wist ye not that I must be about my father's business? So Yahushua strictly, that's the mindset, strictly about my father's business. So in these times, our mindset should be like this. We're about our father's business. Our father's business comes first, and everything else is secondary. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10, and so on and so forth. All right? Unlike the individuals in Luke the 14th chapter, right, that made all their excuses. Okay, they made all their excuses because in Deuteronomy 24, it says if they have a business, if they have this, if they have that, they take a year off. They get married, they take a year off. So they pretty much all went back to try to justify why they can't be about the father's business and try to bring up things in the law. Like I got married, I got oxen, I got a business, I gotta take off. May I be excused? May I be excused? And the other one with the wife, I can't make it. I can't make it. My wife, you know what I'm saying? I can't make it. My wife's, I got to deal with her. So that's bullshit. That's bullshit. All right? So they began to make excuse. I might finish up some more in Luke 14. I'm going to end this segment of this part of the lesson. So verse 25, Luke 14:25. And there went great multitudes with him, and he turned and said unto them, If any man come to me and hate not his father, and hate his mother and his wife, and hate don't mean I hate you, I hate your guts, F you, curse you, damn you. It don't mean that. It means, in other words, you put them to the side. In other words, you bring them down in that you lower their prioritizing status in your life. You bring it down, you put the truth first. That's all that means when it says hate them. It doesn't mean hate, like I hate your guts, I wish death on you. It doesn't mean any of that. It means you love this first. When you love something, the scriptures say where your heart is or where your treasure is, there will your heart be. So this truth is our number one treasure, and everything else it follows. All right? Something that's most valuable and precious in your sight is going to look like it's loved more than the other things. And the other things going to look, people may think, oh, you hate that because you love that more. That's how people look at us. They look at us, oh, you hate your family, oh, you hate us, oh, you hate that you love the brothers more than you love the truth. And yes, we do. That is true. And people feel that, right? But just because I love this more, right? Because I love this more and we love this more, doesn't mean I hate you. Doesn't mean I hate your guts. It just means that this is priority. My father's business is number one. Our father's business is number one. That's all that means. And that's why the Lord said this. If any man come to me and hate not his father and mother and wife and children and brethren and sister, and his own life, he cannot be my disciple. So you got to put everything, even your own life, you got to put this truth first. You got to put this truth first. Present Romans 12, present your bodies as a living sacrifice. Forget about whatever you may be dealing with, mentally, physically, whatever. You say, man, fuck my life, fuck this, fuck that. I got to go out there and do the work. I got to do a lesson. I got to do this. I got to do something, brother. I got to help the body. I got to help the brother. I got to do something. I got to put this truth first. Anyway, reading on, it says, and whosoever do not bear his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. So we all got our own cross to bear. We all got to bear our own indignation, right? The scripture says, I'll bear the indignation of the Lord, right? Because why? We went off. We all went off. We all went off. So we got to bear our cross. We got to handle whatever disciplinary acts that the Lord put us through. We got to bear it. All right. And that's why sometimes the Lord just don't give you certain things because he know you may not be able to bear it. If something become, if you're a man of the Lord, right? And there's something that can possibly hinder you from doing his work, the Lord just not going to give it to you. Whether it's women, whether it's children, whether it's your child, whether it's, whether it's money, whether it's a fat ass house, whether it's a fat ass car, a nice ass car, abundance. Sometimes the Lord just won't give it to you, you know, because he can't. We don't know why. Sometimes you might wonder why this, why that. It's because the Lord cares. All right. So we got to bear our cross. It said, for which of you intended to build a tower, sitteth not down first and counteth the cost, whether he has sufficient to finish it. Least happily, after he have laid the foundation and is not able to finish it, and that behold, it begin, and that, all that behold, everybody that see, all right, because you couldn't finish what you started, behold, they begin to mock him, saying, this man began to build, he was not able to finish. Or what king goeth to make war against another king, sitteth not down first, and consulteth whether he is able with 10,000 to meet him that cometh against him with 20,000. In other words, you got to strategize. You got to be able to know you're going to finish it. You start, you finish. Or else, while the other is yet a great way off, he sendeth an embassage and desireth conditions of peace. So likewise, whosoever he be of you that forsaketh not all that he have, he cannot be my disciple. So we got to forsake all that we have. And it starts in your mind. Of course, it starts in the mind. It starts in the mind. And a lot of us, when we first started up, when we first came in, we had certain things that was about to kick off, certain things that was kicking off, and we was just about to straight drop it cold turkey. And some brothers did, some brothers kept it, but the Lord had a certain spirit on brothers that kept whatever they had going to have balance. And then some brothers that said, I ain't gonna do this no more, it was for a reason. It wasn't a wicked thing. It wasn't whatever it is. It wasn't a wicked thing. But the Lord was like, now I want your focus to be here more because this other thing is going to be too distracting for you. It's not wicked, but it's going to be too distracting. Maybe later on in life you can, establish whatever it is or was, whatever. I'm just putting it out there as an example. Okay? You got to be able to forsake everything, or else you cannot be the Lord's disciple. Even that 1 year honeymoon. All right. That 1 year honeymoon that this one guy said, I got a wife, I got married, I got to be excused. I got to take care of that. Can't forsake that. You know what? To hell with that 1 year honeymoon shit, baby. You know what I mean? Got to do the work. The Lord is bidding us to the marriage. I got to do this. Then you find time. You make time afterwards, You prioritize. All about priorities and what you prioritize in your life. If you prioritize things that the Lord have given you and blessed you with, that's not focusing on this truth, he'll take it right the fuck back from you. And then you wondering why this happened. Why did my wife leave me? I don't know, why did she leave me? Or why did such and such happen? Ask yourself, sometimes things happen, may seem bad, but it's for the better. So it says salt is good, but if the salt has lost his savor, whether shall it be seasoned? It is not fit for the land, nor yet for the dunghill, but men cast it out. He that hath an ear, let him hear. Right? Now, we got the salt. Now, a lot of times, we use it and say, yeah, Jay got salt. Jay do got salt. Jay got rhythm. They got season. We salt the whole earth. But more importantly, we got this truth, which is that true salt, that real salt. Because if you got this truth and you ain't doing nothing with it, what's the purpose? If you got salt, but it's not salting anything, what's the point of it? What is the point of it? It's absolutely pointless. It's pointless. If the salt ain't salting, then it's pointless. We the salt. And if you ain't salting in this truth, if you ain't salting in Yahushua and seasoning up everything and just adding flavor, when I say flavor, I'm talking about the truth, pushing the word out there. The supper, right? What's a supper without salt? Going back to what the Lord said, certain man made a great supper. What's that supper without salt? Everything on the table is bland. Nah, hey bro, this is that supper and we are doing what we gotta do. That's why the title, so what if you got a wife? All right? And that's pretty much it. I'm gonna end it there. I know for sure brothers lit up the comment board. I was seeing some comments going up. But Lord willing, Abaratazah, Yahweh Shemir Shai willing. Like I said, I'm gonna end it here. And then the second part is gonna be what you single women gonna do when shit hit the fan. All right, to answer the sister's question about those who cannot remarry, I'm gonna go into Lord willing, First Corinthians, the 7th chapter, and different other scriptures. It's gonna be quick, straight to the point, you know. But like, I'm gonna say this, like that last video, not the last one, the second to last, Apostle Hard just put up. I think it's entitled. It was a shorts that he put up. He spoke on it a little bit, but it's entitled "Women Were Created for One Purpose Only" or something like that. Women were created for one purpose only. All right, women were created for one purpose only. Now, I did a video also years ago entitled "How Will Women Survive Martial Law?" It's on GMS Awakening 144,000. 144 to end. It's on the last page I was using or whatever. I did a video on that, how will women survive martial law, and I'm pretty sure I went into some scriptures containing, you know, information on the question that she asked. I might post it in the community section so you can go back and watch it for the time being. But women were created for one purpose and one purpose only. You weren't created to be single. You weren't created to be, no, none of that, right? So I say that because you do have women out there with the mindset that they, I seen it a lot. Oh, the Most High is my husband. No, the Most High is not your husband, stupid. All right? Yahweh Shai is not even your husband. Yahweh Shai is our husband. All right? And the man is your husband. So a woman with that mindset, pretty much she's declaring that she don't need a man. All right? And I'm not saying that that's with the sister. I'm just saying there's two sides to it. There's genuinely women that just for whatever reason cannot remarry. All right, and then there's women out there got the mindset that I don't want to marry. I'm just not gonna marry. I'm good all by myself. You know, they so-called in this truth with a dash of feminism, or a dash of that whole liberal mindset of Esau pushing that, woman, she gonna do good, bad, or whatever, all by herself. That's a wicked mindset. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's what the sister was saying at all. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that a lot of women do have that mindset, and I heard that the Lord got me. You know, we do videos on shit hitting the fan and all hell breaking loose, and them proud ass single women gonna get their ass jacked up, and then you always got that one woman on the comment board saying we don't need a man to get by. The Lord is gonna protect us. The Lord is dealing with me. We'll see. All right, if that's your mindset, then you gonna see. You know. So anyway, I'm gonna end it here, and Lord willing, I will come back with the other part of the title for this lesson. How are women? Oh, not how are women, but what are you single women gonna do when shit hit the fan? All right, because we know what the scriptures say. You know, the Isaiah 4:1, the man being as a hiding place from the wind, so on and so forth. We know them scriptures. All right, and the Lord is gonna perfectly put things together on His time, in His time. All right, how the ins and outs and the details and what. We gonna see, but the Lord got this. All right. If you are part of the elect, if you part of the 1/3 men, women, and child, you women, if you part of the elect, the Lord got you. He gonna set something up. All right. He gonna set something up. Point blank. Period. So I'm gonna end it here. Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect, a nation of Israel. Till next time, I say shalom. Well, Bible ball. Shalom.